MYD Heart is proudly brought to you by NHP. NHP, we are about you.
99 FM, your inspiration station. Is that time again? Time for MYD Heart. It's brought to you by NHP. Now, Team Build Namibia fosters positive working relationships through carefully planned group challenges that require teamwork, problem solving, and communication. This time around, they've teamed up with experts from different fields to design interactive online sessions to help teams with the tools they need while working remotely. We are chatting to Ian Daniels, the driving force behind Team Build Namibia, and Think Human Beings, Debbie Rowles, to find out more about these sessions. So good afternoon to you, Debbie and Ian, and thanks for joining us on 99.
Thanks for having us.
How are you guys doing?
We're great, thanks, Teresa.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty good.
Ian, please tell us why Team Build Namibia is doing these online sessions.
I think what we realized sitting around and obviously seeing the corporates and staff and everyone in the workplace really suffering from anxiety, not really knowing where they're going at the moment, we saw a big gap to fill. I know there's a lot of wellness programs out there at the moment, and they're really, really good.
Yeah.
I think NHP's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, NHP. So we looked at it and sort of took it on a more of a social aspect and more on a discussion, sort of sharing and caring amongst different colleagues at work, and found the gap. So we came up with Change Together for Good, where we, as you said, myself and Debbie and Christine and one or two other breathing specialists and psychologists, and formed a 6-week program. That's why. Over to Debs.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. I just wanted to say, I think for the first time in a long time, I won't say history, but for the first time in a long time, businesses have realized that they don't actually have happy, healthy employees. So it's been a big shift. So since January last year, and we've been following the pandemic and what's happening with human behavior. And basically what happened, it started in January last year. We didn't think it was coming. So we've been tracking it for over a year. And we experienced it through the lockdown, some loss of space and movement, and obviously the economy last year. So real experiencing the recession, almost the hit of COVID, and especially in the tourism industries. So for a year and a half, we've been going through COVID with the rest of the world. And then I think here and now, we've started to experience the real emotional impact of COVID. And that we realized is you want resilient employees and you want resilient businesses, and we have to help people have conversations around those topics.
Who are the sessions aimed at, and what can the teams expect during the sessions? We also had a session recently, very amazing, getting to hear from my own colleagues, how they feel during this time, the losses that they have experienced during this time. So who are the sessions aimed at, and what can we expect during the sessions?
I think it's amazing nowadays, and I think it's been a big thing, digital, in the last year and a half, and how we've got to where we are now. So you can reach pretty much your whole workforce, whether at home, remotely, or in the workplace. You can be sitting on a fishing boat with Zoom, and you can contact everyone. So I think it's just aimed at the general Namibian. I think workforce, and I think privately we've had one or two private interventions where we've done one or two sessions just for people battling at home. But I think the main aim is to take people from ground zero, I call it, where you are anxious, where you've had immense loss, and give them support and care to get them to a point where they are happy within themselves and within the workplace.
Yeah, excellent. I think, Teresa, one of the big things, and I think that what makes us different, and you just mentioned it, is really connecting again through conversation. You know that Christine from Once Upon Mind and myself, we like to basically put a different lens on things, to look at things a bit differently. I think when you start to have conversations with your colleagues, your neurons start to fire and you start to connect in a different way, and you forge deep bonds, and you start to move, instead as individuals going through this by yourself, but you start to move in a story greater than your own, which I think is incredible in terms of building resilience and seeing things differently. And like Ian said, you move from acknowledging where we are now, feeling anxious, overwhelmed, to being able to possibly start to explore finding meaning through adversity and looking at things in the lighter way, slightly different aspect in terms of positivity on the situation.
And we all have different stories, and I think, through this, we also get to know each other better through these stories that we share, through these sessions as well. Debbie, you just mentioned resilience. You will be focusing on how finding meaning and purpose builds resilience. Can you please, shine some more light on that?
It's incredible, Treza, and I know we've worked through this before, but only once you know who you are and the space in this world can you start to even think about contributing to your future. It's incredible. So if you know who you are and what your purpose is in the space that you're operating in, it holds you steady in turbulent times.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we know for sure is that things are going to change next week, in 6 months' time, in a year. So you really need to anchor yourself within your purpose and finding meaning, and then be able to navigate the difficult times that are up ahead.
Yeah.
So it's an absolutely incredible process. I think, as Ian said in other sessions, and you would have seen on the session that we had with you guys, it's very emotional.
It is. It was so emotional.
It really is an emotional thing. It's a lot about self-awareness and finding meaning for yourself and finding meaning for other people, because you're not in this alone. So it's your own meaning and purpose, and for the rest of your team.
Yeah.
For
Very
sure.
true. Yeah.
Excellent.
When will the sessions be taking place, Ian?
When will they be taking place?
Yeah.
So basically, we operate all the time. So at the moment, I'm doing about 3 or 4 different sessions a day with different corporates. So I think the first point is to acknowledge that you need help.
Yeah.
Like, geez, business is going great. People can count numbers and carry on with the day-to-day things. But to acknowledge that people in the, I know Debbie says it sometimes, a business is only a collection of people, human beings, that work and strive together. So I think once you've noticed that, geez, I need to make a change, or we've got to help each other, and you can even give us a call. You don't have to do all 6 sessions. You can do one, and after that first one, you'll figure out, this is great.
Yeah.
I think we need to carry on with this. So basically, when we do them all the time.
All the time.
And we try and tailor the sessions according to the client, because I think everyone has different needs. Like we did one with you guys. You guys
So
are
amazing.
totally different
Yeah.
to F&B or Ashburton Investments. So
Yeah.
it's just a different crowd. It's so nice to work with all these different people.
Honestly,
Yep.
I didn't expect, the session to be the way that it was, because the first time we had a session with Team Build Namibia, it was fun. We were working out, we were drumming, and it was,
Yep.
fun. And this time around, I was really, taken aback and surprised, and also very happy that we could do a session like that, where I could listen to my colleagues talk about their experience and how they're feeling right now during this pandemic. And it was truly an emotional, session. And I think it really allowed us in the office to also look at each other in a different light, because at the end of the day, we are individuals that experience things on a different level. But if we talk about these stories, share our stories, it might make the next person feel better about their own situation.
I 100% agree, and I think it's just it's amazing. I just look at how my business has changed. We were doing drumming, we were hugging each other and high-fiving,
exactly.
and whatever you wanted to
Things are
do.
different,
We were
yeah.
dancing outside, I think, to where a point now it's all based on Zoom or on MS Teams, and I think we've been doing it for a while now, luckily, so for about a year and a bit from the start of lockdown, and just immense. My main mission in life, and it's always been, is to try and make a difference in people's lives. I know there's money involved and success and all that, but my core belief is to be able to make a difference in Namibians' staff life and everyone from kids up to I'm sort of rambling on here, but I'll get to the point now. For me, it's all about making a difference, caring.
Yeah.
I think the big thing, like you said, you open up, people start caring for each other. Hopefully, I know with a group that we did, they started picking up the phone. Like the one lady, Noreen, said, geez, I got phoned 3 times this morning by colleagues and just saying, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is everything good? It just makes such a difference.
It really does.
I think I told a couple of people the other day, just go for a walk. Like Avis Dam, there's water, there's birds, it's just fun times. There's lots of dogs, but just to get out there and just reboot. I think we've been caught up for far too long in any way that you can.
Yeah. Debbie, just before we get to our final question, just for the business owners or colleagues, workforce that's tuning in right now, why should they book a session with Team Build Namibia?
I think, let me just go back to what Ian says, and I said it all the time. Guys, your business is only a collection of human beings, okay? The humans in your business are your business. So their well-being is your top priority. And if you look at the macro trends, the huge big trends that are happening in the world, every business today is a wellness business. So it is paramount that you address how people are feeling, because if you're feeling fear and you are not feeling in your best space, you will be paralyzed and stuck. you will not be innovative, you will not be able to respond creatively to situations. So it is really important it's actually, I know COVID has done a lot of things, but I think one of the positives coming out of it is a focus on well-being.
Yeah,
and
very
saying,
true.
okay, let's build stronger business, let's build back better. How can we do this differently and make sure that our employees build resilience within themselves, and by doing that we build resilience in our businesses.
Yes, and where can we book a session? If I want to book a session with you, Ian, where can I do that? And also, where can I get more information about these sessions?
Yeah, I think you can, you can give me a call. I think my number will be on social media and that afterwards. Or email myself. It's ian@teambuildnamibia.com. And we'll give you as much information as you want. I think... we're growing in leaps and bounds as we go forward. We've just released another product called the Big Five, which is learning through nature, from nature,
nice.
which is so cool.
Yeah.
And we do have the Big Five in Namibia, so why not take what they do really well? Lions operate in such a team, and they teach us so much, and then apply it in business. So we're doing new stuff all the time, but you can get a hold of us anytime. It's... during this lockdown and during these times, I think business extended to almost 12 o'clock at night. I've been taking calls at like 9:30. I'm like, why are you phoning?
Not necessarily
right
a
now?
good thing.
It's not a good thing, but you need rest.
Yeah.
But it's just times have changed, and so we have to evolve as well as Team Build Namibia, which is we've got to roll with the times. Debbie spoke about change.
Yeah, and Christine actually said something about change some time ago. The change is the only constant thing. It's inevitable.
Sure.
It's going to happen whether you want it to happen or not, and we just have to move with it and embrace that change, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen whether you want it to happen or not. And I think with this, change, this new normal that we're facing right now, more than ever, we do need, mechanisms where we can release and talk and tell stories and share our pain, our fears, our anxiety that we might be feeling within ourselves. So just one last question, Ian, a Facebook page? Is there a Facebook page we can maybe contact you as well on?
There's also a Facebook page, Team Build Namibia. One thing I didn't really add, I'll just add it now quickly if I can.
Yeah.
So these sessions that we do, just to give you a breakdown of what it is. So basically the first session is finding where we are and communicating with each other, sharing your story. The second session is usually a session with our psychologist, where we look at coping skills and techniques. The third session is a session with young Debbie over on my left here, talking about...
looking at values and meaning and fears.
And purpose.
And purpose. And then the next session with Christine from Once Upon a Mind, looking at storytelling and perspectives, changing the lenses on things.
That's an amazing... I've obviously sit and listen to all these, and Christine is amazing.
She is.
And
she really is.
How you can change your story just by thinking a little differently. Yeah? And then we do a session with Susie Sayer.
From the Mindfulness Institute of Namibia.
A breathing session, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And then the last session is basically moving forward. So where do we go from here? And how do we move forward positively?
Awesome.
Sorry, I just hijacked
No,
that
it's
last
okay.
question.
It's awesome. Ian, Debbie, thank you so much for coming through, and thank you for this, initiative and for this platform for us to be able to share what we're feeling with our colleagues and our friends. So thank you so much to Team Build Namibia, and to you too, Debbie Rowles, for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure. Ian and Debbie in the studio, we're talking about these amazing sessions that Team Build Namibia has come up with to help, build and foster relationships, and just, for us to share how we're feeling during this time, because it's very important to open up and share feelings of hurt, pain, and loss with those close to us. So if you want to book a session, you can do that by contacting Ian. That's ian@teambuildnamibia.com, or also head on over to our website, 99fm.com.na, to get more information on these online sessions. Or if you are just joining us right now and want to listen to the interview, you can rewind on the app and listen to it once again. That was your MYD Heart, brought to you by NHP on 99.